Minister, Honorable Member Ms. Dawn Hastings.
Thank you, Comrade Chair. Thank you, Minister, for making the regional chairman more comfortable. I hope the REDOs, the RHOs, the regional chairman, and the vice chairman can pay more visits to the villages in the middle and upper Mazaruni, which will be welcomed by those residents. So thank you very much. And I now ask you question on line item. No, that's it for public.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. Honorable Members, I now put a question that the sum stated for Program 771, Regional Administration and Finance, current expenditure stands part of the estimates. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. Ayes have it. The sum stated now stands part of the estimates. Honorable members, let us turn to page 541. And I propose the question that the sum stated for Program 771, Regional Administration and Finance, capital expenditure stands part of the estimates. Honorable members, I now put the question that the sum stated for Program 771, Regional Administration and Finance, capital expenditure stands part of the estimates. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. Ayes have it. The sum stated now stands part of the estimates. I invite you, honorable members, to turn to pages 410 and 411. And I propose a question that the sum stated for Program 772, Public Works current expenditure stands part of the estimates. The honorable member, Ms. Dawn Hastings Williams.
Thank you, Comrade Chair. Line item 6251, Public Works, Maintenance of Roads. Could the Honorable Minister be kind enough to say to this House which specific roads are targeted under this line item and what scope of works will be undertaken?
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. And I was hoping to save the opposition for the embarrassment. So we will be doing maintenance work on the Kamarang, Warmadong, Farm to Market Road. That was never done by the last government. Maintenance work to Kaku, Warmadong, Farm to Market Road. It is this government who began the construction. So Honorable Dawn Hastings can ride an ATV and possibly in the next 2-3 years drive from Kamarang to Kaku. We finish all 19 bridges in that area, and so at some point in time when the road is finished, then Honorable Dawn Hastings can, and many members of the public would be able to use that area. The Westerbeck to Cartabo Road, by the Rabo Back Road, Benji Street, the Hostel Road at 7th Avenue, Carbisi Hill, the Old Scheme Road in Bartica, the Bartica Potaro Road, the Mora Point Road. Mr. Chairman, this area has support for the PPPC, and the last government paid no attention to those poor people, and they are practically all Amerindians. And the last government had no interest in providing any type of infrastructure support to them. Maintenance of sections of roads in central Bartica, 8th Street, 2nd Avenue and 3rd Avenues, and maintenance of 4th Street between 5th and 6th Avenue. Of course, Mr. Chairman, we are also doing capital work on roads, which we'll get to in a short moment. But I can tell you that this is the most the people of Bartica would have ever seen from a government, including the township of Bartica, and including the region number 7.
Thank you, Minister. Honorable member, Ms.
Thank you, Comrade
Hastings
Chair.
Williams.
Thank you, Comrade Minister. I am very happy to hear that you are continuing the works of the APNU on the Kako-Waramadan Road. It was delayed for almost 2 years. And Mr. Minister, please visit. An ATV cannot pass on the bridges that are being built now because it's a line, it's just a walkway bridge. So you need to do corrections so that I can jump on my ATV to ride. And hopefully, if you can tell us when would that be. Thank you very much
Honorable
for your
Minister,
answers.
would you
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. And so I think the Honorable Don Hastings is operating in a vicarious way. There's a lot of imagination the through the work of the People's Progressive Party Civic, and especially Comrade Gail Teixeira, who has done tremendous work in the region, in all sub-regions of Region Number 7. And I can tell you that the Honorable Don Hastings did not walk that road between Warramadong and Kako. And I can tell you that this has been on the agenda of the People's Progressive Party Civic prior to us leaving government in 2015. Nothing was done 2015 to 2020. We have started the work. And we will get to Kako.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Honorable Member, Ms. Dawn Hastings Williams. No honorable members. I now put the question that the sum stated for Program 772, Public Works, current expenditure stands part of the estimates. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. Sum stated now stands part of the estimates. Honorable members, let's turn to page 541. And I propose the question that the sum stated for Program 772 Public Works Capital Expenditure stands part of the estimates. Honorable Member, Ms. Dawn Hastings Williams. Honorable members, I now put a question that the sum stated for Program 772 Public Works Capital Expenditure stands part of the estimates. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. Ayes have it. Sum stated now stands part of the estimates. Honorable members, let us turn to pages 412 and 413. And I propose a question that the sum stated for Program 773 Education Delivery Current Expenditure stands part of the estimates. Honorable Member, Ms. Dawn Hastings Williams.
Comrade Chairs, line item 6255, maintenance of other infrastructure to the tune of 89 million. Could the Honorable Minister say what specific infrastructure will benefit from this allocated sum? Thank you.
Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So we will do general repairs to the teachers' quarters at Kamarang, washing and cleaning of water tanks and reservoir in different parts of the Mazruni, in all three sub-regions of the Mazruni, work on the Bartica Secondary School dorm, the 2 Miles Primary, Jawala Nursery. Mr. Chairman, you recall at one point in time the Honorable Don Hastings was a teacher in Jawala while serving as a Minister of Government. And one of the teachers there, when we had, I think Minister Teixeira had a massive meeting in Jawala, and the teachers were complaining that they couldn't get promoted because the Honorable Minister at that time, Don Hastings, was blocking up the space for those teachers to have upward mobility. Kamarang Nursery, you will also see work done. Beachview Nursery, Hillview Nursery, the Future Builders Nursery, and some of these are commitments President Ali made whilst he had visited the area. St. Anthony's Primary, Potaro Primary, St. John the Baptist Primary, Agatash Primary, uh, 2 Miles Primary, Kaikan Primary, Batavia Primary, Itabali Primary, Carao Primary, Cartabo Primary, Kangaruma Primary, 72 Miles Primary, Isinaru Primary, St. Martin Primary, this is in Isano, Philippi Primary, and the few visits I've made since I became minister, and my colleague Gail Teixeira, honorable member, Mr. Chairman, the AP and UFC left this village in the 5-year period. They did absolutely nothing for these people because that village supports the People's Progressive Party civil. And children were left unattended. Kako Primary, Mr. Chairman, again, this is the village of Honorable Don Hastings, who has not visited there for a long time. Kamarang Primary. Kamarang is the village where the Honorable, our colleague, has massive investments. Purima Primary, Wailing Primary. I guess so. A hotel is a massive investment, Mr. Chairman. Some people still struggling to build. Some people struggling to get a house lot, whilst the opposition MP building hotel. Wailing Primary, Chinawing Primary. They have not visited Chinawing for all these years. Arrow Primary, and again, if you go through the visitors book, you wouldn't find their names. Kurutuku Primary, they've never been there. Imbaimadai Primary, Kwebanang Primary, they don't even stop because it's a small area. Waramadong Primary, St. Mary's Primary, this is by the quarry. Winipiru Primary, Wax Creek Primary. So all of these areas. The Dr. Desiree Fox dorm will have work. Again, like I said, Bartica Secondary, 3 Mile Secondary. Those are the areas in the Mazaruni that will benefit from this maintenance program. But of course, Mr. Chairman, as we proceed through in the course of the year, as maintenance needs arise, we will also be working. I want to also indicate to you, Mr. Chairman, that these are not massive work. Very small contracts, 2 million, 3 million, and they will all be given to Amerindian people in the Amerindian villages and in Bartica to people of Bartica and the other areas. So this is also part of the position of our government as in the manifesto that we are going to create wealth in some of these areas. We are going to provide more opportunities. We are going to create more employment. As a matter of fact, Mr. Chairman, as I have the floor on this issue, in 2019, there were 12,000, there were 10,099 staff working in the 10 regions. Since we got into government, we are now at 17,000 plus. More employment opportunities created for our people in the regions. I can also tell you, Mr. Chairman, that in the last government, I went through the list of all of the contractors in the 10 regions, and there were only 97 female contractors. We have a 181% increase. Female contractors. We now have 273 female contractors in this country and counting. So I would like to commend my colleagues as well who are. So those are my contributions to that question, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Honourable members, I now put a question that the sum stated for program 773, education delivery, current expenditure stands part of the estimates. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. Ayes have it. Sum stated now stands part of the estimates. Honourable members, let us turn to page 541. Program 773, education delivery, capital expenditure. And I propose the question that the sum provided herein stands part of the estimates. Honorable Member Ms. Dawn Hastings Williams.
Thank you, Comrade Chair. Line item 2504400, furniture and equipment. Could the Honorable Minister say if any allocation is being made to service the laboratory of the Desiree Fox Secondary School, which has not been in operation for the longest while? If so, what equipment do you plan to do for that specific school? Thank you.
Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That will be catered for under another line item, the laboratory, the maintenance and laboratory needs of the Desiree Fox, Dr. Desiree Fox Secondary School.
Thank you, Minister. Honorable members, I now put a question that the sum stated for program 773 Education Delivery Capital Expenditure that stands part of the estimates. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. Ayes have it. The sum stated now stands part of the estimates. Honorable members, we go to program 774 Health Services. And I propose a question that the sum stated for this program, 774 Health Services, current expenditure, stands part of the estimates. The Honorable Member, Ms. Hastings Williams.
Line item 6242, maintenance of buildings. Which health facilities are targeted in the Lower Mazruni, Middle Mazruni, and Upper Mazruni, which are to benefit from this allocation?
Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The nurse in charge quarters at Kamarang, the medics quarters at Kamarang, the health post at Kurupung, the Bartica Hospital, the Kamarang Hospital, the kitchen at Kamarang, the CHW quarters at Karo, the hospital kitchen at Bartica, the nurses hostel at Bartica, the Chinawing health post, the Philippi doctors quarters, and the Kako doctors quarters.
Thank you, Minister. Honorable MP.
Thank you, Comrade Chair and Minister. Could the Honorable Minister be kind enough to say as to when these doctors' quarters will be filled? Because many of them are there, but no resident doctors up to.
Mr. Chairman, thank you.
Honorable
Mr.
Minister.
Chairman, as we indicated, we are going to do repair work and maintenance work on these facilities so that our doctors will be provided much better conditions. These facilities have been left to rot for a long time, Mr. Chairman, and even whilst we're maintaining and building new health quarters and making sure that more doctors get out into the villages, His Excellency previously had also announced that Bartica will receive a new hospital. So the health services in Bartica will be massively transformed with the new hospital and with all of the attendant works that we're doing currently.
Thank you,
you.
Minister. Honorable
Thank you,
MP.
Comrade Chair. Thank you for that welcoming remarks, Minister. And I must say thank you for what you're undertaking. I know that there's going to be improvement on the Camarang Health Post, and soon I am told they are to do surgeries, but we have to fix the electricity down there. So please take into consideration to have the power that is being used so that the machines can work properly. The village, the residents would very much welcome that, Comrade Minister. Thank you.
Honorable Minister.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. And as we are building in Region 7, I would like to report to you that also we have In addition to all these women that we have now are contractors, we also have a wider array of contractors across the demographic divide. And for example, in Region 7, APNU, during the period of APNU, there were 30 Afro-Guyanese contractors, 23 mixed-race contractors. There were 13 Amerindian contractors. In 2022, Mr. Chairman, there are 18 new contractors, Amerindian contractors in Region 7. There are now from 30 to 49 Afro-Guyanese contractors in Region 7, and there are 52 mixed-race contractors in Region 7. So just to let you know that this government, we practice the One Guyana platform, and every single one who's desirous of having a contract will be given an opportunity to be a contractor and businessman or business person in this country.
Thank you, Minister. Honorable members, I now put a question that the sum stated for Program 774 Health Services Current Expenditure stands part of the estimates. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. Ayes have it. The sum stated now stands part of the estimates. Honorable members, turn to page 542, and I propose a question that the sum stated for Program 774 Health Services Capital Expenditure, that the sum stated therein stands part of the estimates. Honorable member, Ms. Dawn Hastings Williams.
Thank you, Comrade Chair. Thank you very much for your answers, Comrade Minister. Line item 2402100, land and water transport. Would the Honorable Minister be kind enough to say, when I look at the project profile, it says purchase of an ambulance, boats and engines. How many boats and engines does he plan to purchase, and which health facilities will benefit?
Honorable Minister.
Sorry, Mr. Chairman. In addition to a new hospital for the residents of Bartica, and more particularly the residents of Region 7, we will have a new river ambulance. We will also be buying outboard engines for Bartica, Isano, Imbaimerai. And these will be a 200 horsepower and 240. We will also be procuring boats for Isano and Imbaimerai health posts. Those are covered here.
Thank you very much, Minister.
And may I hasten to add, we were able to budget for these based on missions that the Honorable Gail Teixeira conducted in the Upper Mazaruni.
Honorable member.
Thank you, Comrade Chair. Thank you, Comrade Minister. Line item 2601800. The allocated sum there is 90 million, and the project profile says to purchase furniture and equipment. What furniture and equipment he intends to purchase, and which hospitals or health centers are identified to benefit?
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Chairman, I don't know why the APNUFC keeps asking this question to embarrass themselves. Because when we took over the health sector in 2020, in August 2020, there is now practically a different health sector. How it has transformed from no drugs, people unable to get an x-ray done, no doctors available. So even when you go to some of these facilities, they're unable to do certain practical work. So we would be buying x-ray machines, patient beds, cupboards, patient monitors, scales, both infant and adult. For the first time, the Camarang Hospital will have an ultrasound machine. Thank you very much, People's Progressive Party Civic, for the first time. Dental x-ray machine at Bartica, a diagnostic audiometer, For the first time, the people of the Upper Mazruni, ECG machines at Imbaimaday, Kaikan, Jawala, Etteringbang, for the first time. So there are a host of other pieces of equipment, Mr. Chairman, and if you desire, I can proceed to provide those as well.
Thank you, Honorable Minister.
Thank
Honorable
you.
MP.
Thank you, Comrade Chair. Thank you, Comrade Minister. That ends my questions for Region 7. However, I must ask Comrade Ministers to stop telling untruths in this house. I was in Kako, I was in Maramadan just before I came. I live in there, and you need to stop telling untruths to the house. Thank you.
Honorable MP, I will have to ask you to withdraw. I don't know you're imputing. Honorable Minister, I'll give you a chance to respond.
Mr. Chairman, I am not imputing. I usually check the village registers, and I don't know that Honorable Don Hastings live in Kako village. I don't know that. I also have visited very recently the Upper Mazaruni, and I visited Kamarang as well. I didn't see the Honorable Don Hastings. As a matter of fact, myself and the Honorable Minister of Housing and Water were both in Kako, as we were in Jawala, Quibanang, and some other areas. And the Honorable Don Hastings wasn't present.
Honorable members, I now put a question that is some stated for program 774, Health Services. Capital expenditure stands part of the estimates. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. Ayes have it. The sum stated now stands part of the estimates. Honorable members, let us turn to pages 416 and 417. And I propose a question that the sum stated for program 775 Agriculture, current expenditure stands part of the estimates. Honorable members, I now put a question that the sum stated for program 775 Agriculture stands part of the estimates. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. Ayes have it. The sum stated now stands part of the estimates. Honorable members, I now turn to program 775, Agriculture, Capital Expenditure, and I propose the question that the sum stated for this program stands part of the estimates. Honorable members, I now put a question that the sum stated for program 775, Agriculture, Capital Expenditure, stands part of the estimates. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. Ayes have it. The sum stated now stands part of the estimates. Honorable members, let us thank the Honorable Minister and his staff for taking us through Agency 77, Region 7. Let us invite the Honorable members, the Honorable Minister to bring in his staff for Region number 8 as we consider Agency 78. Honorable members, I invite you to turn to pages 422 and 423. And I propose the question that the sum stated for program 422, let us give the staff an opportunity to get in place. See some familiar faces in this region. Honorable members, turn to pages 422 and 423. And I propose the question that the sum stated for program 781, Regional Administration and Finance current expenditure, stands part of the estimates. Honorable member, Mr. Sinclair.
Thank you, Comrade Chairman. Uh, Line item 6117, 6116 contracted employee. I notice there's a massive increase in funding there. Could the honorable member state to this honorable house what that fund it entails?
Honorable Minister.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, we have two clerk, two appointed. Additionally, one expediter appointed, and this line item caters for the increase also caters for their salaries, which is a commitment of President Ali to increase salaries of our public servants.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Honorable Member, Mr. Sinclair.
One further question, Mr. Chairman. Could the honorable member, minister, please lay over to this house the emoluments of the highest paid employee there and the lowest paid employee?
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Chairman, if this parliament knows me very well by now, they would know that I'm always prepared, fully prepared too. So I'm not prepared to hand over. I'm prepared to publicize at this moment. So we have
And I'm prepared to ask you to lay over.
340,000.
Honorable Minister.
Thank
The
you.
highest and the lowest, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So the highest under this line item is 340,244, and the lowest is $80,892.
Thank you very
No
much.
further question, Your Honor.
Honorable members, I now
Please may not far to go.
put the question that the sum stated for Program 781, Regional Administration and Finance, current expenditure stands part of the estimates. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. Ayes have it. The sum stated now stands part of the estimates. Honorable members, please turn to page 543. And I propose the question that the sum stated for Program 781, Regional Administration and Finance, Capital Expenditure, stands part of the estimates.
No questions, sir.
You go, wake up. I just put this. No questions, Honorable Member, so I now put. Sorry, Honorable Member, Mr. Sinclair. Sorry, Honorable Member, Ms. Maureen Philadelphia.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. 1209100. Purchase of furniture and equipment. Can the Honorable Minister say to us, the department, it says staff, quarters that will be benefiting from this line item?
Honorable Minister.
So, Mr. Chairman, we will be purchasing as part of, again, making sure that our staff, they are comfortable in our regions. We will be buying complete bed sets, refrigerators, dining sets, living room suites, stoves, for only $1.2 million. It's not an enormous amount.
Thank you very much, Minister. Honorable Member, Mr. Sinclair. No. Thank you very much. Honorable members, I now put a question that the sum stated for Program 781, Regional Administration and Finance, Capital Expenditure, stands part of the estimates. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. Ayes have it. The sum stated now stands part of the estimates. Honorable members, let us turn to pages 424 and 425. And I propose the question that the sum stated for Program 782 Public Works, current expenditure stands part of the estimates. Honorable Member, Mr. Sinclair.
Uh, line item 6251, maintenance of roads. Line item 6252, maintenance of bridges. We have 50 million there for roads, and we have 45 billion there for bridges. Could the honorable minister just indicate to this house where these roads are located and the bridges are located?
Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We have begun an extensive road program in Region Number 8 because of the terrain, because of the logistics of the area. These roads were, and I can't, Mr. Chairman, I have to repeat myself on this issue. When
There is
we
a
left
standing
government,
order with respect to repetition too.
Mr. Chairman, before 2015, we built a road way into, from Region 9 into Region 8. You could have taken about an hour and a half from Karasabay to get into Monkey Mountain. And maybe just another hour to get, or hour and a half to get to Paramakatoy. The last government did absolutely. As a matter of fact, on the road to Region 9, and I will speak about it in Region 9 when we come to Region 9. But now that this is the road that leads you into Region 8, hundreds of millions of dollars were paid by the last government in contracts. Hundreds of millions, and given to contractors who were very close to a certain minister who was responsible for the natural resources sector at that time. No work was done. So this 50 million is coming on the backs of another 300 million we spent last year. And more will be spent this year because Amerindian people live here, and I know the last regime had no regard or concern for the welfare of Amerindian people. So we will be doing maintenance work at Maikwak to Chenapau, Paramakatoy to Karasparu, Kopinang to Kamana, Monkey Mountain to Taruka, Taruka to Yawang, Kurukabaru to Itabak, Tusaning to Bamboo Creek, Keto to Kawa Bridge, the shortcut, Kurukabaru to Kamana, and we'll be doing bridge maintenance in Tusaning, Itabak. There are 2 bridges in Tusaning that we will work on, in Bamboo Creek, Taruka, Chenapau, and Paramakatoy.
Thank you, Minister. Honorable Member, Mr. Sinclair.
Could the honorable minister state if there is no consideration for internal roads in Campbelltown?
Honorable Minister.
So, Mr. Chairman, the Ministry of Public Works, as Minister Edgell had indicated earlier, Honorable Member, they do most of the heavy lifting in Madhya sub-region. And to inform you, Mr. Chairman, we began work last year in Campbelltown, and we are going to do more work in Campbelltown this year.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Honorable Members, I now put a question that the sums. He signaled he was finished earlier. Honorable Minister, Honorable Member, Mr.
I want to ask the honorable member what about the half road that the Public Works Minister alluded to in a report, public meeting. Sorry, when?
Mr. Chairman, I didn't get a question.
Honorable Member, can you please respond? I think too many advisors might be around you. Honorable Members, please allow the Honorable Member, Mr. Sinclair. He and I and Kemraj are in the same cohort. Please, go ahead, Honorable Member.
Correct. I'm just finding out from the honorable minister what's the state of the road from wrong turn to the airstrip, and when would that road be completed?
Wrong turn to the airstrip. if you make a right answer.
Mr. Chairman, I think that the last government made a wrong turn in 2018 when they had a contract to construct the same road that the honorable member Sinclair is asking. Secondly, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Sinclair is
Honorable,
supposed to live in Madia, and to get to Georgetown, you have to use that road to get to Georgetown. So I'm surprised that the honorable member Sinclair has no knowledge of that airstrip road in Madia. Just so you know, Mr. Chairman, the People's Progressive Party Civic will complete the road, despite all of the challenges the last government placed on the people of Madia. When you had gone there, the entire place was flooded, any easy rain. So we will complete the road that they signed a contract in 2018 and were unable to start the construction.
Honorable Minister, thank you for the right turn on the wrong turn road. Honorable Member Mr. Sinclair, that's it. Honorable members, I now put the question that the sum stated, including wrong turn road, for Program 782 Public Works, current expenditure stands part of the estimates. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. Ayes have it. Sum stated now stands part of the estimates. Honorable members, I ask you to make a right turn to page 543. And I propose the question that the sum stated for program 782, Public Works, Capital Expenditure, stands part of the estimates. Honorable Member, Mr. Sinclair. Keep on the right turn. Thank you very much for staying right. Honorable members, I now put the question that the sum stated for program 782, Public Works Capital Expenditure, stands part of the estimates. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. Ayes have it. The sum stated now stands part of the estimates. Turning right again, let's turn right to page 426 and 427. And I propose the question that the sum stated for program 73 Education Delivery current expenditure stands part of the estimates. Honorable Member Mr. Richard Sinclair.
6291. Not sure. National and other events. Could the Honorable Minister say to this Honorable House what are the things entailed in that line item?
Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So this will take account of the participation of our children in national activities, including Mashramani, the National Sports Championships, STEM fairs, Education Month activities, visual arts activities, music, dance activities, physical education, and other sports activities. I can assure you that none of this will go towards the any activity that will include the viewing of the phallus in Region 9 that the last government built. Sorry, Region 8 in Madia. That Mr. Sinclair himself told me about, expressed consternation when I first met him.
Honorable Member Mr. Sinclair. Thank you very much, honorable members. I now put a question to the
Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Member Ms. Nina Flo Bess, then the Honorable Member Mr. Sherwin Holder.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I noticed in line item 6284 that there is a decline in the sum. Can the Honorable Minister say what caused this decline?
Honorable Minister.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. It is not high science. As we have been saying, sweeper cleaners have been paid from this line item for a long time, and the sweeper cleaners have now gotten contracts. So under 6284, you see the reduction because the stipend at that time for sweeper cleaners, that has been removed and they are now contracted employees of the government.
Thank you very much, Minister. Honorable Member, Ms. Nina Flubes.
Line item 6292, dietary. Does this cost cover the feeding program of the schools?
Honorable Minister.
So thank you, Mr. Chairman. This line item, and you'll see an increase as well. We are providing meals at the 3 dormitories, Madhya, Keto, and the Paramakatoi dormitory. So those children, they're receiving meals from this line item.
Thank you, Minister.
I have
Honorable Member, Ms. Bess.
one follow-up question to that. This national and other events, I heard the minister mention earlier that it caters for the children coming to participate in the national schools championship. Um, can the honorable minister say if gears, running shoes, and other um, equipment needed for them to participate in sports is provided from this line item?
Honorable Minister.
I have been advised very emphatically, Mr. Chairman, that we will provide, as we have been providing previously.
Thank you, Minister. Honorable Member, Mr. Holder.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, 6291 National Naughty Events. In 2021, the actual spending would have been 6,300,000. 2022 would have been 14 million budgeted, but the revised amount is 36,286,000. For 2023, I would like to ask the minister, how is it that a combination of so many events put together in this sum would be identical to the revised sum of 2022. 2023, it's identical to the dollar. So I just want to know how they arrived at that, given that it's a combination of a number of events, obviously bearing different costs or different provisions put together for those events. So, Minister.
Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And Mr. Chairman, I beg your indulgence if you can turn the AC off. I'd be very happy. Thank you. Mr. Chairman, I would not question the veracity of these figures. I would not question the competence of the regional education officer. I would not question the activities that our school children in Region 8, Amerindian school children, are participating in. I would not question there are 4,000, at least 4,000 school children in Region 8, and a lot of the programming in national and other events are not exact figures in the sense that they can change during the course of the year as well. So they're not, and you know that too, it's not cast in stone.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Honorable members, I now put a question that the sum stated for program 783, education delivery, current expenditure stands part of the estimates. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. Ayes have it. The sum stated now stands part of the estimates. Honorable members, turn to page 543, and I propose a question that the sum stated for program 783 education delivery capital expenditure stands part of the estimates. Honorable members, I now put the question that the sum stated for program 783 education delivery capital expenditure stands part of the estimates. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. Ayes have it. Sum stated now stands part of the estimates. Honorable members, pages 428 and 429. And I propose a question that the sum stated for program 784 health services current expenditure stands part of the estimates. Honorable member, Mr. Richard Sink.
6442, maintenance of buildings. I see here a whopping sum of 4 or 5 million. Could the Honorable Minister state to this Honorable House where this the maintenance work is done and on which building or buildings?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Honorable Minister.
And the most difficult part to work in this country is the North Pacaraimans, Mr. Chairman. And we intend to do maintenance work on the Taruka Health Post, the Kopinang Health Center, the Maikwak Health Post, the Monkey Mountain Health Center, staff quarters at Kanapang, at staff quarters within the Madhya District Hospital compound, staff quarters, the RHO staff quarters, the staff quarters at Paramakatoy for the doctor, the Kieto staff quarters, and Chiang Maut Health Post.
Thank you very much, Minister. Honorable member, Mr. Sinclair.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Is there any provision for the COVID house at the here strip?
Honorable Minister, COVID House.
Mr. Chairman, in a maintenance program, sometimes you're allowed some flexibility. And if we have to do work at the COVID unit in Madhya, or the COVID house, quote unquote, then we will find resources to do it.
Thank you very
but
much.
in the meantime, as I indicated, those are the areas that we're focused on.
Thank you very
Mr.
kindly, Honorable Minister, for providing this Honorable House with that piece of information. We'll work on that.
Thank you very much, honorable member. Honorable members, I now put a question that the sum stated for Maureen, honorable member Ms. Maureen Ferdinand.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. 6255, maintenance of other infrastructure. Can the Honorable Minister please outline to us where those maintenance will be done?
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Chairman, both in the North Pacaraimas as well as in the Madhya sub-region, Chenapao Health Center, the Madhya District Hospital, the A&E area, Monkey Mountain, and additional works at the Madhya District Hospital.
Thank you, Minister. Honorable member Mr. Holden.
Thank you, Commissioner. Line item 6117. Here's an addition for 30
Temporary.
new. Comrade Speaker, could I be protected here? I can't even hear my own voice. 13 new temporary employees catered for under 6117. Could the minister explain why this addition of 13 new employees and the designation scope of work that they would be doing in 2023?
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Chairman, I am happy that the honorable member asked that question because the honorable member at one time was a health worker. at the mortuary of Saudi Public Hospital.
Honorable Minister.
8 ward mids, Mr. Chairman, 1 audio practitioner, 1 pharmacy assistant, 2 dental technicians, and 1 CHW to complement the work, the delivery of services in Region 8.
Thank you, Minister. Honorable members, I now put a question that the sum stated for Program 784, Health Services Current Expenditure, stands part of the estimates. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. Ayes have it. Sum stated now stands part of the estimates. Honorable members, let us turn to pages 543 and 544, and I propose a question that the sum stated for Program 784, Health Services Capital Expenditure, stands part of the estimates. The honorable members, I now put a question that the sum stated for Program 784, Health Services Capital Expenditure, stands part of the estimates. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. Ayes have it. Sum stated now stands part of the estimates. Honorable members, let us turn right again to page 430 and 431, and I propose the question that the sum stated for Program 785 Agriculture Current Expenditure stands part of the estimates. Honorable Member, Mr. Richard Sinclair.
6302. I see there training including scholarships. I guess what the honorable minister could tell us what type of scholarship is going to be offered under agriculture in the region, and possibly how that area that the scholarship is offered can impact the region and enhance food production.
Thank you very
Mr.
much,
Chairman,
Honorable Minister.
this line item is only 1 million Guyana dollars. And it will cater for refresher training courses in pest control, handling of chemicals, and in general agriculture.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Honorable members, I now put a question that the sum stated for Program 785, Agriculture Current Expenditure, stand part of the estimates. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. Ayes have it. The sum stated now stands part of the estimates. Honorable members, let us turn to page 544. And I propose a question that the sum stated for this Program 785 Agriculture Capital Expenditure stands part of the estimates. Honorable members, I now put a question that the sum stated for Program 785 Agriculture Capital Expenditure stands part of the estimates. Those in favor say aye. Honorable members, the Honorable Member Ms. Maureen Philadelphia, in notice of
Thank
mic.
you, Mr. Chair. It says here, agricultural provision for agricultural development initiatives. Can the Honorable Minister provide to us what those initiatives entail?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So we will establish apiaries, pilot project for the black giant rearing in Paramakatoy. We will construct and equip a shade house at the Madhya Secondary School. We will also be procuring swing fog machines, other agricultural equipment to help in the transformation of agriculture in region.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Honorable members, I now put the question that the sum stated for Program 785 Agriculture Capital Expenditures stands part of the estimates. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. Ayes have it. Sum stated now stands part of the estimates. Thank you, Honorable Minister, Honorable Member Sinclair, and Philadelphia for taking us expeditiously through, and Nima. that head and thank the Minister and staff from Region 8. Honorable members, we can turn to pages 436 and 437, Agency 7 to 9, Region number 9, Upper Takatu, Upper Essequibo. Again, I thank the Honorable Minister and the staff from Region 8. Honorable members, let us turn to pages 436 and 437. We consider the estimates for region number 9. And I propose the question that the sum stated for agency 7 to 9, region 9, Upper Takatu, Upper Essequibo, program 791, regional administration and finance stands part of the estimates. Honorable member, Mr. Vincent Henry.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. 6116 contracted employees. In 2022, we saw a figure of $55,409,000, and in 2023, we see a figure of $47,964. And it's a decrease in the allocation. Because in 2022 there were 47 contracted employees, and in 2023, 46, one less. Can the Honorable Minister explain the decrease in this line item by over 7 million, bearing in mind that there was a decrease by only one contracted worker in 2023?
Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A typist clerk resigned, so that takes account of the one less contracted employee, and we are catering for the salary increases, the gratuity increases for the other 46 staff.
Thank you, Minister. Honorable Member, Mr. Henry.
$6211, expenses specific to the agency. In 2022, you had $40 million. In 2023, $46 million. Can the Honorable Minister say why the amount allocated was only $6 million more in 2023, bearing in mind the increased two-shower stipend plus the increased cost of living and activities that this head covers? Of course, it includes the American Heritage Month, etc. Thank you.
Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And this line item caters for the increase in rates paid to village leaders. It is now $45,000 per month, and this is a commitment that President Ali made. There are 34 two-shows in Region 9. Also 34 deputy two-shows. They are now paid $30,000 per month. Senior councillors, there are 23 senior councillors paid $25,000 per month. Regional councillors, there are 13 regional councillors who are now paid $30,000 per month. And it also takes account of other services and other costs related to the office of the regional chairman of councillors.
Thank you, Minister. Honorable Member, Mr. Henry.
I didn't get the answer to my question.
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Chairman, I answered the question.
Honorable Member, Mr. Henry.
The issue there, Mr. Chairman, is that this specific line item is one that caters for a lot of stuff, important stuff in the region. Like I mentioned, the Amerindian heritage. So are we saying that those activities are not so important by only granting $6 million, which just covers basic expenses, including the increase of the salaries, stipends of the two jobs, etc.?
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Chairman, there was once a time in this country, not very long ago, just over 2.5 years ago, where every activity of the last government was politicized. Amerindian heritage, the celebration of Amerindian heritage is not a political activity, so you would not find the resources to host Amerindian heritage in 6211. As a matter of fact, if the last government used resources from 6211 to host Amerindian celebrations, village celebrations, then I would encourage the Auditor General to take a walk back in time and to investigate what happened during that time. Similarly, as the honorable member, Mr. Mahipal, raised the issue of SLED. This is
Honorable
regional.
Minister, I didn't hear that. We have to answer the question that was asked.
So, Mr. Chairman, the hosting of Amerindian celebrations, heritage celebrations, would occur in other line items of other programs.
Thank you, Minister. Honorable Member, Mr. Henry.
Thank you very much,
Those who want to whisper, please whisper
Mr.
softly.
Minister. Same line item 6211. How many RDC meetings are expected to be held in 2023?
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Chairman, a minimum of 6 RDC meetings would be held. And naturally, our government doesn't just work on holding meetings in-house. We are actually out in the fields, and a lot of the resources here is allocated to the councillors to get out into the communities and to visit with the Amerindian people of Region 9.
Honorable Member, Mr. Henry. Thank you very much, honorable members. I now put a question that the sum stated for program 791, Regional Administration and Finance, current expenditure stands part of the estimates. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. Ayes have it. The sum stated now stands part of the estimates. Honorable members, please turn to page 545. And I propose the question that the sum stated for program 791, Regional Administration and Finance Capital Expenditure, stands part of the estimates. Honorable Member, Mr. Henry.
1204900. Building Administration, 12 million. Can the Honorable Minister say which administrative building will be rehabilitated for this amount?
Mr. Chairman, Karasabay.
Thank you very much. Honorable Member, Mr. Henry. Thank you very much, honorable members. I now put a question that sum stated for program 791, Regional Administration and Finance. Current expenditure stands part of the estimates. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. Ayes have it. Sum stated now stands part of the estimates. Honorable members, turn to pages 438 and 39. And I propose a question that the sum stated for program 792, Agriculture, current expenditure stands part of the estimates. Honorable Member, Mr. Henry.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. 6231, fuel and lubricants. 2022, it was 6,750,000. In 2023, budgeted 6,750,000. Mr. Speaker, can the Minister explain why there was no increase for fuel and lubricants in 2023, bearing in mind the need for increased activities in agriculture due to an impending El Nino that would create problems for food security, etc. in Region 9?
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Chairman, the other agencies of government in the agricultural sector, they have taken up some of these missions, and so that is why the regional administration did not budget more. So GLDA, NARI, other agencies of the government in the agricultural sector, they are also populating Region 9 with a lot of work now. So, and this is an issue that has been raised with His Excellency and the outreaches he conducted in Region 9, and we have quite a lot of investments now in Amerindian villages in Region 9.
Thank you, Minister. Honorable members, I now put a question. Honorable Member, Ms. Henry.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister and Mr. Speaker. 6254, maintenance of sea and river defenses. Revised 2022 0, budget 2023 5 million. Mr. Speaker, can the Honorable Minister name the activity or activities that will be done utilizing the 5 million allocated to the maintenance of sea and river defenses in Region 9?
Honorable Minister.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Tabachinga Creek has overtopped many times, and so we are investing in repairs to the riverbank to prevent continued overtop.
Thank you, Minister. Honorable members, I now put a question that the sum stated for program 792 agriculture current expenditure stands part of the estimates. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. Ayes have it. The sum stated now stands part of the estimates. Honorable members, turn to page 545, and I propose the question that the sum stated for program 792 agriculture capital expenditure stands part of the estimates. The Honorable Member, Mr. Henry.
Thank you again, Comrade Speaker. I nearly said Comrade Leader just now, sorry.
Going back in history.
1701,400, $42,350,000. Mr. Chairman, there is a current shortage of cassava and its byproducts in Region 9 due to climate change's negative effects. It must be noted that cassava is a staple food in Region 9. Can the minister say if the allocated sum of 42.35 million includes monies to improve cassava production, inclusive of the government providing cassava stems that can withstand the effects of climate change to the farmers of Region 9?
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Chairman, the Ministry of Agriculture has done extensive work in providing planting material, including cassava, to the residents of, or to the farmers of Region Number 9.
Mr. Chairman,
Honorable Member, Mr. Henry.
I didn't get the answer. It was a specific question. If the farmers will be provided with cassava stems that can withstand the effects of climate change, because that is the main problem now in the region.
So,
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Chairman, I will, if you permit, I would like to ask the Minister of Agriculture to answer this issue in my stead.
Honorable Minister of Agriculture.
Mr. Chair, I want to agree with my colleague that all the villages in Region 9 will be provided with cassava planting material in mid-February. You did an analysis and a survey. All the areas will be given planting material. But as a matter of fact, I want to elaborate also what my colleague have been saying for Region 9. That region have been having a lot of development in the agriculture sector. As a matter of fact, we have agro-processing facilities, 3 agro-processing facilities to bring value to the farmer's crop in that deep south in St. Ignatius. We have tractors, we have grass planters, we have harrows, we have plows to help the Armenian, help those areas to develop the agriculture sector. So Region 9 is slated for massive development in the agriculture sector to make a contribution to food security in Guyana.
Mr. Chairman,
Thank you, Honorable Minister of Agriculture. Honorable Member, Mr. Henry.
I still haven't gotten an answer on behalf of the people of Region 9 whether or not specific research will be done quickly and stems that can withstand the effects of high spells of heat and rain can be given to the communities. I haven't heard the answer yet.
I will ask the Minister of Agriculture to address once again.
Mr. Chair, I said we did an analysis and a survey in the entire Region 9, especially the riverine area, and we will be providing all the planting material, including cassava sticks, to the farmers in Region 9. We have already communicated to the Tushao. We met with the Tushao. I don't know if the honorable member is not going to these communities, but we have been visit those communities on a regular basis, and we are interacting with those villagers regularly. The REO, his team, has been working very closely with the teams from the Ministry of Agriculture, the various agencies.
Honorable Minister, I think, Honorable Member, you can ask.
I think we have a problem of comprehension. I mean, we ask a straightforward question. Just say that we haven't done any research and we don't have those sticks. But you, the people of Region 9, may go back to what we did about 15, 20 years ago when we went to Manoa and brought sticks, although we are promised to be given some licks for doing that.
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Chairman, I think this honorable member wants to mislead this House. I am saying 2 weeks
Okay,
ago.
Honorable Minister, we can't impute that.
Yeah, but the point is, I am saying, Mr. Speaker, if you don't comprehend what I am saying, I am listening. I am saying that 2 weeks ago, our teams were in Region 9, visiting different villages, looking at the areas that were affected by the flood, did analysis, soil analysis, and in mid-February, when the crop will start, we will provide all the planting material for these farmers. We did that, and we did the analysis, and we did all the research, and we will be providing these planting materials.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Honorable Member, Mr. Henry.
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. I understand that they cannot answer the question, so we can move on.
Honorable, if you make a comment like that, I will just give the Minister a few seconds to respond. He's answered 3 times. Honorable Member, Mr. Henry, please, you can move on.
I will move on. The people of Region 9 has heard the answer.
And they're expecting the distribution in February. Thank you. Honorable members, I now put the Honorable Member, Mr. Holder.
Thank you. Thank you, Comrade Chair. Comrade Chair, project code 170 2000, agriculture development. Could the minister say if this allocation would be, sorry, that is it. That is not really, looking at the wrong page. Looking at the wrong page. 1 second. Yep, it's 170 1400. Could the minister say if the sums allocated there would be sufficient? Here's why I ask this question. Because since the indigenous people, and we understand Region 9 to be an indigenous region, since they would have come to Guyana and occupied these lands, agriculture would have been at the heart of their existence. And so it is quite alarming, and I know the minister will say that from a regional level, there's providing support, and there is the Ministry of Agriculture. But in that, but I would say to the minister that Public Works was given a hefty sum. The other programs were all given a hefty sum, while the RDC gives support. But except in agriculture, agriculture for Region 9 only has an allocation of 5%. And we see the same trend in Region 1, 3.1%, Region 7, 4.5%. Region 8, 1.9%, and of course 9, I've just mentioned, only 5%. So I'm asking the minister if, why is it that they're budgeting so meager amounts in the context of a country that would have received billions and continue to receive billions upon billions. I'd state that again from our oil, our new found oil industry. And so, again, why is it that we're only budgeting the RDC, under the RDC, only 5% of the budget goes towards agriculture?
Honorable Minister of Local Government and Regional Development.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. It is not true, as the Honorable Member Sherwin Bowler has indicated, that it is 5% or less in terms of the budgetary allocation for agriculture in Region 9. As a matter of fact, the entire budget for Region 9 has moved from, in current terms, 256 million to 283 million, plus an additional 42 million. My colleague, the Honorable Minister of Agriculture, has been at length moments ago to explain to you that we have agencies of government that provide direct support, and we have a lot more of the support that comes through those agencies. So it is not true what the Honorable Member is saying, that agriculture is not treated with similar to the other programs. We are building farm-to-market roads. This government, Mr. Chairman, does not operate in silos, quite unlike what happened in the last government. That is why there was so much financial mismanagement, because everyone was a law unto themselves, and they were operating in silos. So I would urge the Honorable Member to redo his calculations and to join the effort that we have been pursuing to transform agriculture in Region 9. Just a few years ago, 2.5+ years ago, in some areas we had to fetch food in for some of these Amerindian people. That APNU, and they were in government, Mr. Chairman. We were in opposition, and we used to take food for Amerindian people because flooding, many areas were cut off. The last government, let them show their record in terms of what they have done for agriculture in Region 9. They have absolutely no record. 165 million, like I said earlier, was expended through the hands of one person in Region 9 in the last government, given to farmers groups, women's groups, youth groups, and in different villages, including, in one case, to a family member, millions of dollars. It is not imputing, there is evidence of that in the village of
Honorable
Shulina.
Minister, we're going good so far, and we've caught up with the time. Honorable members, can I now put that program? Honorable members, I now put the question that the sum stated for program 792 Agriculture Capital Expenditure stands part of the estimates. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. Ayes have it. The sum stated now stands part of the estimates. Honorable members, let's turn to pages 440 and 441, and I propose a question that the sum stated for program 793 Public Works current expenditure stands part of the estimates. Honorable member, Mr. Henry.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. 6251, maintenance of roads, $74 million. Can the minister list the roads that will be maintained inclusive of their location? Thank you.
Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And again, we are building roads where roads were never built before. And this is a hallmark of our government. We are also repairing roads where roads were left dilapidated for many, many years. We are also working in villages where before 2020, it's very expensive to live and travel in the interior, including Region 9. And the Ministry of Amranian Affairs, the RDC, can tell you, Mr. Chairman, that vehicles that the current government, when we were in government last, gave to these Amranian villages, they were taken away, in some cases violently taken away from the Amranian villages, including by one certain honorable member who was working as a community development officer in Region 9. So we have a history of working for Amranian development. The APNU AFC has a legacy of disrespect for Amranian people. So, Mr. Chairman, I don't know if I can say equivocations of I can say bloviate. The bloviations of the current opposition would not deviate us from working in the Amranian villages. So we will repair the Rupanau Road, a commitment of His Excellency the President. We will repair the road to Tiger Pond. We began last year, and we will expand onto the till to the mountain foot, possibly getting into Taushida and Kokshibai, areas that the last government never visited, Mr. Chairman, and you know those areas very well. Repairs to the road from Anai to the secondary school. The Shiriri road crossing on the other side of the creek, and repairs to the Tabachinga, 3 kilometers of Tabachinga farm to market road.
Thank you, Minister. Honorable members, I now put a question that the sum stated for Program 793 Public Works. Current expenditure stands part of the estimates. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. Ayes have it. The sum stated now stands part of the estimates. Honorable members, let's turn to page 545, and I propose a question that the sum stated for Program 793 Public Works Capital Expenditure stands part of the estimates. Honorable Member, Mr. Henry.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. 1100900 bridges, $62 million. Mr. Speaker, can the Honorable Minister say whether or not the bridges will be concrete or steel bridges? If not, can the Minister say what type of bridges will be built?
Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. A concrete bridge at Cayman Creek, Wichibai, not very far from the Honorable Member. A concrete bridge at Baby Creek, Parashara. A concrete bridge at Makurapan, and a concrete bridge in Aishalton towards the farmer. Towards the farm along the farm.
Thank you, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Chairman, I'm not finished. On the construction of a concrete bridge at Dove Creek, Shia.
Thank you.
Honorable Member, Mr. Henry.
And Mr. Chairman, all of these projects came out of a visit of His Excellency. You know, our President likes to travel and meet his people across different parts of the country, quite unlike what obtained by the last administration between 2015 and 2020.
Thank you.
Member, Mr. Henry.
Thank you, Comrade. Mr. Speaker. In passing, I just want to say the first steel bridges, concrete bridges, were built by APNU in Region 9, and it's good that you all are following. Thank you very much. 1401300 roads, $95 million. Can the Honorable Minister say if the roads will be of bitumen or concrete? If not, then can the Minister state what innovations are included to construct roads to indigenous communities that will allow it to withstand the impending rainy season?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So we'll be upgrading a section of the road from Fly Hill to the Katoka landing, about 5 kilometers. We would also be upgrading the Ruperty Farm Road, upgrade to sections of the of Arnaputa Central. Also, sections of the road leading to Fly Hill and Karasabay to Tiger Pond, as I had indicated, we will maintain, and we will also, under this capital program, 5 miles of road in the North Pacaraimos towards Taushida and Kakshubay.
Thank you, Minister. Honorable Member,
Miss-
Mr. Henry.
Mr. Speaker, I ask what type of road, and if they are not made of bitumen or concrete, that what innovations will be included to ensure that those roads stand up. And the reason I ask that because from Latem, from St. Ignatius to Shildinab and going downwards, if you travel there, you will find big craters, very, very big craters, and the road was only repaired before the last rainy season. That's why I asked what innovations will be put there.
Mr. Chairman,
Honorable Minister.
thank you. We will be doing extensive maintenance from Letem towards Deep South as soon as this budget is passed tomorrow. So you are going to see a lot of maintenance work. We've procured some equipment for Region 9, and they will do a lot of the in-house maintenance. A lot of these villages require access, and the budget for roads, it's only 95 million. So we took a decision to ensure that as many communities as possible have an opportunity to benefit from the budget. Quite unlike what 2 pieces of road were done in the last government. A piece toward a diversion to the, which was a good diversion actually, to the Pirara Bridge, and part towards, going towards Latham, where they also built a concrete bridge. But where is the evidence that they have built many more bridges? One of the bridges that was built in going towards Yupakari, it was burned, and then it was rebuilt. And then when we came into government, it was burned again, and we had to rebuild it in concrete. So a lot of the resources, and I shudder to think that the opposition, they claim so much that they know this country, but they don't understand the dynamics of the country. And it is quite unfortunate for the people of the Rupununi that the opposition, they will go and spread a lot of propaganda without seeing the need to get these things done. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman,
Thank you,
I
Minister.
guess this
Honorable
word
Member, Mr. Henry.
innovation is causing another problem. So I will pass.
Honorable members, I now put a question that that the sum stated for program 793 Public Works Capital Expenditure stands part of the estimates. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. Ayes have it. Sum stated now stands part of the estimates. Honorable members, let's turn to page 442 and 443, and I propose a question that the sum stated for program 794 Education Delivery current expenditure stands part of the estimates. Honorable Member, Mr. Henry.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. 6116, contracted employees. Can the Honorable Minister explain the increase of contracted employees from 43 in 2022 to 161 in 2023, and say whether or not this amount includes psychosocial personnel who will help to conquer the strange behavioral phenomenon that is seriously affecting our female students in our secondary schools?
Honorable Minister.
I've been to a school you never went to.
Mr. Chairman, this line item caters for 113 sweeper cleaners, 1 house supervisor, 2 cooks, 2 typist clerks, 1 house father. And I would like to report as well that a lot of the spiritual people in Region 9, they have been visiting these schools to pray with the children. And whilst it seems to be an annual phenomenon, that relief is also being provided to those children.
Thank you very much, Minister. Honorable Member, Mr. Henry.
6292, dietary, $221,444,000. Can the Honorable Minister say if the sum of $221,444,000 allocated for dietary includes a snack or meal daily for secondary school students who leave home early in the morning for school and return home after 3 p.m. on an average school day in St. Ignatius?
Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks will be provided to 353 students of the Anai dormitory. Similar will be provided to 219 students of the St. Ignatius dormitory. And similar will be provided to 120 students of the Karasabay primary top. And of course, when the secondary school is finished, then Karasabay will also have their own secondary school. Sand Creek Secondary, 292 students, similar. I Shelton, 161 students, and Napi Primary Top, 70 students.
Thank you, Minister. Honorable members, I now put a question that the sum stated for Program 794, Education Delivery, current expenditure stands part of the estimates. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. Ayes have it. The sum stated now stands part of the estimates. Honorable members, we can turn to page 545, and the program is 794, Education Delivery. And I propose a question that the sum stated for this program, capital expenditure, stands part of the estimates.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chairman, 2402300, land and water transport, $6 million. Can the minister say whether or not this vehicle will be purchased to transport students of the St. Ignatius Secondary School from Linden to school and back?
Honorable Minister.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. When we procure resources for the different programs, we tend to consolidate the use of those resources, including transportation resources. So if the need arises that we'll have to help those children, we have built asphaltic concrete roads now in St. Ignatius. Never before, Mr. Chairman. We will also be procuring bikes for those children who will be participating in cycling at the National School Championships.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Honorable Member, Mr. Henry. Honorable members, I now put the question that the sums stated for Agency 79, Program 794, Capital Expenditure, stands part of the estimate. Those in favor say aye. Those against? The ayes have it. May I direct your attention now to pages 444 and 445. And I put a question that for Agency 79, Program 795, Health Services, current expenditure, that is sum stated here, form part of the estimate. I put the question that for Agency 79, Program 795, Health Services, current expenditure, that is sum stated, forms part of the estimate. Those in favor say aye. Those against? The ayes have it. Members can go to page 545, 546, and I propose a question that is sum stated for Agency 79, Capital Expenditure, Program 795, Health Services, that is sum stated form part of the estimate. Honorable Member, Mr. Henry.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. 2402300, land and water transport. Can the Honorable Minister say where the ambulance and the vehicles will be stationed in Region 9?
Mr. Chairman, 2 ambulances will be procured for the Letem Hospital and for Aishalton Hospital. We will also be procuring a a truck, a lorry, to help in the distribution of drugs and medical supplies across the country.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Honorable members, I now put the question that the sum stated for Agency 79, Program 795, Capital Expenditure, that the sum stated form part of the estimate. Those in favor say aye. Those against? The ayes have it. Thank you, honorable members. Thank you, Minister and team. This brings us to an end of Agency 79. Honorable members, we'll now move on to Program 80, Region number 10, Upper Demerara, Upper Berbice. We'll allow the minister and his team to be in place. You have a saving of 17 minutes. Based Mr. Clark, I'll have to sanction the honorable member. Honorable members, I will direct your attention to pages 450, 451. And I put the question for Agency 80, Current Expenditure, Program 801, Regional Administration and Finance, that the sum stated stands, I propose that the sum stated stands part of the estimate. Go ahead, honorable member, Mr. Sears.
Mr. Speaker, looking at line item 6111, administrative. Mr. Speaker, I observed that there is a reduction in the staff complement by 2. What positions do these represent?
Mr. Chairman, the retirement of a PS Finance and one area.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Honorable Member, Mr. Sears.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Can the honorable member state if these positions have been made vacant publicly?
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Chairman, 2 persons retired. So, but we did not publicize the retirement of those 2 persons.
By that, I mean,
Go ahead, honorable member.
Let me readjust the question.
knowing that there are two vacancies, have those vacancies been made public?
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Chairman, insofar as I'm aware, not at this point in time.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Honorable Member, Mr. Sears.
Mr. Speaker, let's turn our attention to line item 6117. We noticed that there's some additional allocation for temporary employees. I would like to be aware of their emoluments and where these positions will be filled.
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Chairman, it caters for a vehicle driver, caters for checkers and caretakers.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Go ahead, Honorable Member.
Mr. Speaker, just to confirm, how many days will they be working?
Mr. Chairman, they will be working a minimum of 8 hours per day across their contract period. And for the knowledge of the honorable member, Devin Sears, these are not the part-time workers. They are granted temporary contracts for 300, exactly, for 365.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Honorable Member, Mr. Mahaipal.
Thank you, Comrade Chairman. Comrade Chairman, I turn your attention to line item 6211. Sir, this is the third region that is suffering a reduction in the availability of the sums for the chairman and councillors for them to effectively execute their function. When we look at the allocation in the line item, at face value, it is showing an increase by $6,500,000. But sir, this line item caters for the increased sum towards the stipend for councillors and the Tushaus and deputy Tushaus along with senior councillors. Sir, when the calculation is done like Region 4 and Region 7, this line item will give the RDC chairman and councillors a sum of $32 million to execute their functions. When last year, they had a sum of $34 million to do their projects, a reduction of $2 million, sir. All other regions received an increase, and a significant increase too. Can the Honorable Minister explain, in this context of one Guyana, in this context of nation building, in this context of us lifting Guyana together, why is it that region number 10 is suffering the same fate as region number 4 and region number 7?
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Chairman, that sounds like a rendition singing for my supper. The honorable member said earlier that one of the other regions there, the budget available for the RDC was less than 2022. Now the honorable member is saying that this is the only region where the 6211 regarding budgetary resources was reduced. So Honorable Mahipal, Mr. Chairman, needs to make up his mind once again on what exactly he's trying to achieve. What I can tell you, as I did for Region 4 and all other regions, the regional chairperson, the vice chair, and councillors, they would have gone through this budget and they would have signed onto the budget. I cannot account for what they want to do and how much they intend to spend on what they want to do. What I could account for is that when the budget resources are allocated to them, that they spend it in a transparent way, they spend it in a non-discriminatory way, and they spend it in a way that does not devalue and bring the regional administration into disrepute.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Honorable Mahaipal.
Chairman, I don't understand why the Honorable Minister is trying to mislead this House. But, sir, in all fairness to the submissions that were made from these regions, region number 4 submitted a request for $36 million. And there's the evidence for that, which I'm sure his able and capable permanent secretary can lay over to him. And I'm also sure that she is in receipt of the submissions of Region 7 and Region 10, which are sums that are larger than what is catered for here. There is clearly an attempt to not satisfy the requests of Regions 4, 7, and 10, primarily because they're afraid of the work of these councillors in an attempt to expose what is happening under their regime. So again, sir, I ask the question, what is the reason behind having an increase in budgetary allocation for chairpersons and councillors in regions 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 8, and 9, and a decrease in regions 4, 7, and 10?
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Chairman, the government of President Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali granted stipend increases, in some cases salary increases, to all the chairpersons, all the regional vice chairpersons of regional democratic councils in Guyana. That is an undisputable historical fact. So, Mr. Chairman, I'm not finished answering. Mr. Chairman, this never occurred in the 5 years of APN UFC. The regional chairs did not get any increases. And these increases go towards their personal embellishment. This increase, or these increases, were all lobbied for by all 10 regional chairs and all 10 regional vice chairs. And again, for the record, 2022, the budgetary allocation for 6211 was $40.5 million. In 2023, it has increased to $47 million, an increase of $6.5 million, almost 1/6 of the previous year budget.
Thank you very much, Honorable Mahaipal.
Sir, thank you. What should guide us when the Honorable Minister speaks about an increase is the fact that there was the increase to the councillors, the Tushaus and the deputy Tushaus and senior councillors within these Amerindian communities. And that among that caters for more than $6.5 million. So the reality, the fact of the matter is there is a decrease in the amount of monies that is allocated to the chairman and councillors for the execution of their functions. I don't know if perhaps the Honorable Minister is tired after answering all the questions, and maybe we should consider taking a break, sir, and return.
Thank you very much, Honorable Mahaipal. Honorable Minister does not require a response. I now put the question that for... Go ahead, Mr. Sirius.
Yes, Mr. Speaker. With regards to line item 6231, fuel and lubricants. Mr. Speaker, can the Honorable Minister answer if this reflects any increase in the fleet of vehicles?
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Chairman, 2022, $5.4 million were allocated. In 2023, it is $5.6 million. So naturally, it would not cater for any new vehicle, additional new vehicle.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Honorable Mahaipal.
Chairman, the Honorable Minister indicated that Region 10 chairman signed on to this budget. I would like for him to provide the evidence of such, because I am guided by the regional chairman of Region 10 that he has never placed his signature on this budget. So I will be happy if honesty can prevail in this house, and the Honorable Minister provide that evidence to show that the Region 10 chairman signed on to this budget.
Mr. Speaker.
Go ahead, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Chairman, the Region 10 chairman, over the years that I've known him, including the time when he was a member of staff, earning over $300,000 from the Ministry of Local Government and Regional Development, at that time the Ministry of Communities. And to this date, the regional chairman has come to my office for more than once, actually many times. We have spoken many times on the phone, and the regional chairman has never expressed any proclivity as Mr. Mahipal is impugning on the character of the regional chairman of Region Number 10.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Honorable Mahipal.
Chairman, thank you, sir. Sir, the question stands because the regional chairman is indicating to me here that he has never signed on to that budget. The minister, in his defense of this decrease to the LRDC, claimed that the regional chairman signed on to the budget. All that I'm asking for, sir, is the truth. Just to provide to this house, the evidence that you have as minister to show that the regional chairman signed on to it. And you, sir, in your capacity as advisor to the Honorable Minister, I am sure can also assist him in finding that signature to lay it over.
Honorable Member, I'm chairman of the Committee of Supplies right now. Honorable Minister. I think the Honorable Minister would have provided an answer before Honorable Mahipal. Is there,
Sir,
Mr. Sears?
So are you saying that you will not ask the Honorable Minister to provide the evidence on something that he said? You will not, Chair, just for clarity, Chair, are you saying to me as an honorable member of this House and representing this side that you are not going to ask the Minister to provide the evidence to substantiate what he said and claim, or are you going to uphold the fact that he is imputing the chairman of this region, Region 10?
Well, I've asked the Honorable Minister to respond to your question. Honorable Minister?
Mr. Chairman, Region 10 has billions of dollars more than Region 10 would have ever had, whether under the PPPC or the APNUFC. And I'm not going to be quibbling and holding back the work of the regional administration by quibbling on $6.5 million. I've already answered that question, and Mr. Mahipal has a proclivity to expose information on social media, including that famous leak tape where they were confabulating and they were trying to unseat the elected opposition leader of the People's National Congress.
Chair, on a point of order, the honorable member is imputing my name, claiming that I released some tape via social media. That is totally untrue, and I'm asking that he withdraw it. There is no evidence to such, and if he has, he can tender it over. But I have never released any tape on social media. I have never released any tape on social media, and I'm requesting the Honorable Minister to withdraw that, sir.
Honorable Minister, I think it's a fair proposition. We know there is a tape. You said there is a tape. The honorable member is claiming that he did not release the tape.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, but in the three-way conversation, the honorable member's name and the type of work that he had to do in trying to besmirch and unseat the opposition leader, that has been recorded. But if it is that the honorable member believed I said that he released the tape, then I withdraw it.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Honorable Member, Mr. Sears.
Mr. Speaker, the PPP constantly represent themselves in Region 10. I want to ask the Honorable Minister if he's aware that the Regional Democratic Council number 10 had submitted a budget estimate of $9.2 billion, of which 3.3 was totally cut out, for the depriving the Region 10 residents of further development. The question
Honorable Minister.
is the minister aware that the Regional Democratic Council number 10 submitted a budget estimate of $9.2 billion, of which the PPP government slashed it by $3.3 billion?
Honorable member, I would like to remind you that in going through the estimate, we'll want to cite the line item so we can guide the minister and his team in offering proper responses. Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, this budget of Region 10 in excess of $5.9 billion is the most that Region 10 has received through the RDC since the establishment of the Regional Democratic Council. This is the... Mr. Chairman, I can only account for what is in the budget. I don't go back in time. We are doing a tremendous lot of work. Just a few days ago, His Excellency was in Christianburg, and the support, the manifestations of the people, enormous. And we believe that this government is doing quite a lot for the development of Region 10. We have also employed over 1,000 persons on the part-time program, which is more than $40 million per month in the regional economy. So this budget is not just about one program or one item in a program. This budget is part of a national development budget, which is 781.9 billion Guyana dollars.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Honorable members, Honorable Mr. Sears.
Just a quick question on line item 6291, which deals with national and other events. Could the Honorable Minister share what is the budgetary allocation for Mashramani out of this allocated sum?
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Chairman, these are indicative figures, and as the expenditures become necessary, the region will pay for those expenses under this line item.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Honorable members, I think I can now put the question, which is that the sum stated for Agency 80, Program 801, Regional Administration and Finance, current expenditure, stands part of the estimate. Those in favor say aye. Those against? The ayes have it. May I direct your attention now to page 547, and I propose the question that the sum stated for Program Agency 80, Program 801, Regional Administration and Finance, capital expenditure stands part of the estimate. Honorable Mr. Figueroa.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Chairman, the region has been making requests for the building of the regional RDC for the staff since 2020, 2021, 2022, and even in 2023. This request was made by the elected councillors, and they would have provided a suitable rationale with regards to why there's need for this new building. And we have not seen any allocation in 2023 with the country's largest budgetary allocation. Can you say why the people of Region 10, the staff, councillors, are not given the comfort to execute their mandate on behalf of the people of Region 10? And there's dire need for such a building.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
this
red is not prohibited.
this project on
Red is
the
prohibited.
regional administration building
Red is prohibited in this house.
began
Red.
in 2017. Hundreds of millions of dollars were budgeted for the construction of the administration office. When we took government in August of 2020, and during the first few weeks of my appointment as Minister of Local Government and Regional Development, I had the honor of visiting Region 10 and visiting the site. The last government, for 3 years, they did not come off the ground. For 3 years, they spent 48 plus million dollars and did not come off the ground. I believe, Mr. Chairman, that it was a cash cow for some, and I hope I'm not imputing, but it was a cash cow for some high officials, whether based in Region 10 or in the APNU AFC government. We met with the contractor and we offered to go through the issues. Subsequent to that, the contract was terminated.
Thank you very much,
Ms. Farrar,
Honorable
Mr.
Minister.
Speaker, all that the minister would have just indicated is immaterial to the fact that the importance of this building to the staff, to the councillors of the RDC is still of utmost importance. And with regards to COVID-19 in 2020 and 2021, it showed even more the need for a new building. And the country is moving forward with regards to development, and we are right now going to be passing the country's largest budgetary allocation. And we are continuing to say that the RDC's building in Region 10 is grossly inadequate. We have electrical issues, we have decay of the building, and a sewage issue affects the staff at the RDC. The REO who is next to you has probably the smallest office for an REO in the entire country. And it's very ugly. The need for a new building is of utmost importance for your work. And the work on behalf of the people of Region 10 is highly needed, and I suggest greater consideration should be given in this regard.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. Minister, you care to respond? Go ahead, please.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. The last government did not think that schools were important or hospitals were important, but they were spending over $256 million on an admin office. The admin office ought to have been finished long before 2020. They did not complete the building. The contractor, I guess, breached conditions of the contract, and the contract was terminated.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. Honorable Member Mahaipur.
Thank you, sir. Sorry, the preamble was to benefit the minister and his own political agenda, but the current state of affairs is important. We have public servants that are working under conditions that are not safe.
Inhumane.
It is inhumane. The Ministry of Labor and the Honorable Joseph Hamilton can take us a walk into Region 10 and see the conditions that these public servants that are giving their all to public service in Region 10 and see what is it that they're going through, sir. The REO himself, I know, expressed to me before how uncomfortable he is in the situation at that Regional Democratic Council. And it is only fair that we show some vested interest as politicians and leaders of this country and concern for the public servants, sir, of Region 10 that are delivering a service. So can I ask the Honorable Minister, when does he foresee the beginning of the construction of a proper RDC building for Region number 10, where he can take into account the safety and comfort of public servants in Region 10, and when does he foresee monies coming into the budget for such a program?
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Chairman, the priority of this government is not the fancy offices of regional chairs. The priority of this government is to make sure that our children go to school, that they are provided the best education delivery services in schools, healthcare, water, indeed. So a wide array of interventions. At some point in time, Mr. Chairman, the head office of Region Number 10 will be constructed, and it will be constructed by the PPPC government, because we're going to be in power for a very, very long time.
Thank you, Honorable Minister.
Mr.
Honorable,
Speaker,
I recognize the Honorable Member, Mr. Figuera.
sir, the minister, by his own words, has shown and made it very pellucid how much they care about public servants. Imagine that is his comrade sitting next to him, and he's saying they're not concerned about the comfort of public servants who are working on behalf of the people of this country. We maintain, Mr. Speaker, we maintain that the people of Region Number 10, the workers, the councillors, are most deserving, given the country's largest budget, are most deserving of a building in which they can be safe, a building in which they can be comfortable in executing their work and their mandate on behalf of the people of this country.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Minister responded to this issue. I heard the Minister said that sometime in the future, our head office will be constructed. Honorable Paul, you want to follow up on the same issue?
Sir, is there any consideration, given the state of the building, sir, given the state of the building, the vulnerability of our public servants in terms of their safety and other measures, is there any consideration here to compensate public servants should they suffer and continue to suffer under this current state that they're working?
Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And the public servants of Guyana, first, when I joined the public service, Mr. Chairman, salaries were very meager. When my grandfather was in the public service, salaries under the PNC was very meager. Now that we're in government, we have been in government from 92 to 2015. We're in government from 2020, August, to now. And the most increases ever given to public servants, the most comfort ever provided to public servants, the most buildings built for the comfort of public servants, the most schools ever built in the history of this country, the most hospitals and health centers and health posts ever built in the history of this country, including in Region 10 and especially Linden. The most monies to transform regional economies came from the leadership or the auspices of the leadership of a People's Progressive Party civil government. The last government, one of the most egregious acts they did to the people of Region 10 was to fast-track the closure of the call center. When we came into office, we were the government that initiated its reopening. The last government didn't cater for public servants. The president himself, just a few weeks ago, readjusted salaries of public servants for their own good. The president made a commitment to the soldiers and other members of the joint services that we will restore the bonus, the 1-month salary bonus, taken away by the APNUFC. We made a commitment that we will restore the cash grant for our school children, taken away by the APNUFC. Now, children are earning millions of dollars across the country. We also embarked on a massive employment program to make sure that more people get opportunities for employment, that more monies go into the regional economies, that farmers, fishermen, all of those people receive benefit. We have also increased the stipend of the regional chairs. they're members of the last government who sit currently on the opposition side, were earning salaries from the Ministry of Local Government and Regional Development, including Devin Sears, honorable member, including other members. And they didn't have the care to address the concerns of public servants. What they were more concerned about is their political aggrandizement. And we will not countenance that kind of politics. Everyone has an opportunity now to be part of the largest of this country. We will not discriminate against any employee. We have actually increased the employee strength in the regions from 10,000 plus to over 17,000. We have also increased the support to public servants and the regional structures by more than 11,000 part-time workers. So tell me, Mr. Chairman, who has the interests of public servants and public officials in the Cooperative Republic of Ghana?
Thank you, honorable members. Honorable member, Mr.
Mr. Speaker, adding to this conversation also a follow-up question to the minister. Is the minister aware of the current situation in Kokwani with regards to the RDC building? The building in Kokwani, that's the RDC building. Currently, again, I don't know, maybe the current government is condoning feces. With regards to flushing the toilet upstairs, the feces come downstairs.
So, honorable member, Mr. Sears, just
what provisions?
Point me to the line item, and then let's.
It's the same line item. Same line item, right?
So
is there any provisions for repairs to the Kokwani RDC building?
Perfect.
Mr. Chairman, yes, we are going to do maintenance and repair work to the Kokwani RDC building that the last government left unattended to. And as we are on that issue, I would like to ask the Regional Executive Officer, Mr. Chairman, whether the Honorable Devin Sears paid his bills when he stayed at the guest house in Kokwani.
Honorable members, I think it's a good time to put the question that the sums stated for Program 771, Regional Administration and Finance, current expenditure stands part of the estimates. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. Ayes have it. Sum stated now stands part of the estimates. Honorable members, I now turn to page 547, Program 801, Regional Administration and Finance, Capital Expenditure. And I propose the sum stated herein stands part of the estimates. Honorable members, I now put a question that the sum stated for Program 801, Regional Administration and Finance Capital Expenditure, stands part of the estimates. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. Ayes have it. Honorable members, let us turn to pages 452 and 453. And I propose the question that the sum stated for Program 802, Public Works, current expenditure, stands part of the estimates. Honorable members, I now put the honorable member, Mr. Sears.
Mr. Speaker, looking at line item 6222, field materials and supplies, the question to the Honorable Minister is this. With the heightened work in Linden, of which the Minister is boasting that the government is doing, right? Would the Minister consider an increase in this line item's allocation to better allow for performance, monitoring, and evaluation?
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Chairman, this government buys very durable field materials. And so we would not be buying every year the same amount for the same sets of people who already would have had months before. So if that answers the question of Honorable Devin Sears.
So the amount is adequate.
Yes, thanks.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, I now put a question.
Mr. Speaker,
Honorable member, Mr. Sears.
I always pay my bills. But to ask the specific question, right, as it relates to line item 6264, right, is there any allocation being made for the repairs? Yes, is any allocation being made to any of the regional chairman's vehicles or allocated to his office or his purview?
Honorable
No.
Minister?
Mr. Chairman, if the regional chairman of Region 10 desires for his vehicle to be fixed, then I'm sure there's adequate funds available to fix the vehicle.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Honorable members, I now put the question that the sum stated for Program 802 Public Works current expenditure stands part of the estimates. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. Ayes have it. The sum stated now stands part of the estimates. Honorable members, let us turn to page 547. And I propose the question that the sum stated for Program 802 Public Works capital expenditure stands part of the estimates. No questions. Thank you. Honorable.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman,
Honorable Member Mr. Figueroa.
1401400 roads. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chairman, we have seen an allocation of $93+ million for roads. The regional councillors would have provided a number of roads surpassing 20 that are in dire need of repair in the community. But based on this allocation, there's an approximation of 5 roads to be done. Given that it is 5 roads, would these roads be bordering with drainage? And what would be the size of these roads? Because what we would have observed in several communities, like for example, Silvertongue, as an example, the recapping of the roads, we have seen those roads reduced in size, and the vehicles passing, 2 vehicles passing, have to go off of the road to pass, even though there were sufficient space to accommodate a larger road to accommodate the passing of 2 vehicles. So can you say to us if those roads would be bordered with drains, proper drainage, and what is actually the size of these roads that will be built?
Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I'm happy that the Honorable Member Jorman Figueroa of Region 10 raised the issue of roads and the width of roads, because I saw on social media, Mr. Chairman, which I can share with you, a registration of a pickup that moved from the office of the Prime Minister to a certain Figueroa in Region 10. Yes.
Mr. Chairman,
Honorable Member Mr. Figueroa, please. The Honorable Minister is on the floor, and if you want to interject, you stand in a point of order.
That is what I'm quoting, part 16.
I didn't hear you, so I didn't understand about his imputing at that time. So allow him to finish, and then I'll.
So, Mr. Chairman, I'm very happy
Honorable
that Honorable Jorman Figueroa has decided to raise the issue of roads. Through the visit of our Honorable Prime Minister, the real Brigadier, Mark Phillips, a lot of work has begun in the Christianburg area. The construction of roads, footpaths. During a visit of His Excellency, more roads will be done. As a matter of fact, the technical team, they are currently picking up information on the roads that need to be done. The Ministry of Public Works, they are also doing 30 roads in Region 10, and most of which, if not all, will be in the town of Linden. This has never happened before, Mr. Chairman. Never happened before. And these roads, a lot of these projects are built by the community. People get employed. So I do not understand why the AP and UFC, they're against the construction of roads in Region 10. So during the course of this year,
Are we at Region 9 or Region 10?
10.
Okay.
So, Mr. Chairman, in addition to the 30 plus roads that Public Works will be doing, in addition to the roads that His Excellency committed last week, we will also be working on the South Amelia's Ward access, the Morabali Street in Retrieve, the Well Road in South Amelia's Ward, internal road in Comaka. This is an area that supports the PPPC, and the last government did absolutely nothing for the Amerindian people and those hinterland people in Comaka. The upgrading of a Fairweather carriageway as well. In Nottinghamshire, this is an area as well where we actually have PPP meetings. And they were deliberately, their infrastructure was deliberately left out for 5 years. So we are working to complete the development of Region 10, and our track record in Region 10 is proud in terms of the development of the people of Region 10.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Honorable Member, Mr. Figueroa, just give me a moment. Honorable Minister, I heard you say the APNU. Don't know why you're against the development of road. I don't know about the APNU plus AFC outside in the House. I didn't hear any one of the APNU plus AFC honorable members saying they were against that. So I think you might be imputing at that stage. Honorable Member, Mr. Figueroa. Honorable Member, Mr. Figueroa.
Thank you for bringing that view to the minister. But the question that I asked specifically, I think it was a very simple question, and the minister, I believe, is very, very relatively a bright guy. And the question was very simple. One, would the roads that would be built, would it be bordered with drains, and what would be the size of those roads? That was the question. I would like to add to it to ask, what type of road will be built? Would it be concrete road or which?
Thank you very much. Honorable Minister, concrete
Simple.
roads, whatever, plus.
Thank you,
Do you
Mr.
have
Chairman.
reinforced drainage?
Mr. Chairman, development also takes account of resources. And our development pathway is premised on different phases. So we will build the roads, we will also build the drains. The priority now is to build the roads. In South Amelia's ward, the Forest Street, it will be 1,400 square meters. In Morabali, it will be 1,393 square meters. On Well Road, it will be 1,408 square meters. At Comaka, it will be 2,548 square meters. At Nottinghamshire, it will be 2,580 square meters. And these roadways and carriageways will be constructed for the first time using asphaltic concrete.
Thank you very much.
Follow up, Mr. Chairman. Thank
Go
you
ahead, Honorable
for
Member,
your
Mr. Figueroa.
the specs of the length of the road that it will be. But Mr. Chairman, what I would like to know, because it is a concern for a lot of the road users, especially passing another vehicle coming in the opposite direction. You have to come off of the road. So can the minister, for greater clarity, say what would the width of the road be?
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Chairman, the Forest Street Road in South Amelia's ward will be approximately 6.09 meters, which is it's about 3.3 feet per meter. So it will be close to 20 feet wide. The road in Retrieve Morabali Street will be 4.87, which will be approximately between 15 to 16 feet wide. The street in Well Road, South Amelia's ward, will be 5.5 meters wide. Again, almost 18 feet. The road in Comaco will be 7 meters wide, in excess of 21 feet. The road in Nottinghamshire will be 5 meters wide, in excess, again, of almost 18 feet. So the width of the roads is adequate and many vehicles can pass, including vehicles probably driven by honorable members of the opposition, including a certain pickup.
Thank you very much. Honorable Member, Mr. Singh.
Mr. Speaker, a follow-up to this, this
Which of the
particular
road?
line item here. Mr. Speaker, earlier the minister mentioned that particularly Comaca and Nottinghamshire, he supports the PPP, and he also alluded that APNU AFC ignored them, possibly because the area supports PPP. The question to the minister, is the minister saying that the government focuses infrastructural work and development in areas where they're heavily
Relevance to the line
supported?
item, Honorable Member.
Pardon?
Relevance to the line item.
The relevance is this here, Mr. Speaker. I'm trying to determine the mechanism used to determine where roads go. Because I'm fully aware that the Regional Democratic Council would have submitted 20 roads for consideration. 5 were selected, and the Honorable Minister is mentioning that in Comaca and Nottinghamshire, those roads are being done, and he also stated that they support the PPP. I want to know what mechanism is being used.
Honorable Minister, I think you also said about where support didn't come from, but you can answer.
Mr. Chairman, if I were the honorable member, I would have been quiet. Because I just said at length, we are doing 30 additional roads. 30 additional roads. On a visit of the Prime Minister late last year, more roads were also done, more footpaths were created. So never before this has happened in Region 10, and especially in Linden. Never before.
Thanks for the emphasis, Honorable
So
Minister.
most of the roads actually will be done in APNU AFC strongholds. Most of the roads.
Thank you very much. Honorable members, I now put the question that the sum stated for Program 802 Public Works Capital Expenditure stands part of the estimates. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. Ayes have it. Sum stated now stands part of the estimates. Honorable members, turn to page 454 and 455. And I propose a question that the sum stated for Program 803, Education Delivery, current expenditure stands part of the estimates. Honorable Member, Mr. Figueroa.
Thank you, Comrade Chair. Line item 6116, contracted employees. Mr. Minister, we have seen a very significant increase in contracted employees here. Could you give an explanation for this increase?
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Chairman, it takes account of 156 sweeper cleaners, regularized by His Excellency the President, Dr. Mohamed Irfan.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Honorable Member, Mr. Figueroa.
I'm happy about that. But are those sweeper cleaners permanent? Permanent staff?
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Chairman, they are currently...
would they eventually be on a permanent establishment given the fact that they're contracted employees?
Mr. Chairman, they are currently on contract. It means that they will get a gratuity as well. Quite unlike what happened in the last government where they forced people out of contracts into the permanent establishment. In a democracy, we give people choices. So those sweeper cleaners will make those choices when they desire.
Thank you, Minister.
Thank
Honorable
you.
Member, Mr. Figueroa.
6112, senior technical. There's also a significant increase here. So we have an idea of what is the technical skills of the first top 5 senior technical officers and where are they placed?
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Chairman, I'm happy that the honorable member has raised this issue in the education budget because the honorable member, in addition to being your staff, is also the staff of the Minister of Local Government and Regional Development. So in the answer to my staff, there are 3 education officers, 1 non-grad, 1 system development officer, 2 temporary qualified, Mrs. 283 trained graduate teachers, class 1, 4 untrained, 1 RAO for education regional administrative officer, 19 trained graduate teachers, 5 untrained graduate teachers, and 11 assistant teachers, a total of 330.
Thank you, Minister. Honorable
Thank
Member,
you.
Mr. Figueroa.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I wasn't finished. So if you
Honorable
allow me, I
Minister,
would
go
like to
ahead.
ask the Honorable German Figueroa, staff, under which line item is he being paid as a teacher of one of the secondary schools?
Unfortunately, Honorable Minister, it's questions to you. Honorable Member, Mr. Figueroa.
Thank you, Comrade Chair. Line item 16113, benefits and allowances. Could the minister give a synopsis of this 139 plus $1 million?
So, Mr. Chairman, I've been advised that under 6111 administrative, the honorable member, that's where the super salaries are paid. And that's where the honorable member, in addition to his stipend from Parliament or salary from Parliament, he's also receiving quite a substantial 200 and something plus $1,000.
Honorable Minister, I think it was
So,
6113.
Mr. Chairman, in addition, just for clarity, there are 2 temporary qualified class teachers, 68 temporary qualified class teachers, class 3, 1 trained graduate, class 1, 3 temporary qualified, 4 temporary unqualified, 2 welfare officers, 1 temporary qualified, 5 librarians, 17 temporary unqualified, and 2 unqualified, a total of 105.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Honorable Member, Mr. Figueroa.
Thank you, Comrade Chair. And it baffled me when the minister said super salary. Yes, I am a graduate trained teacher serving for more than 21 years, and I'm saddened that teachers are given such a meager salary for a very important role they're playing in this country's development. Mr. Speaker, line item 6241, rental of buildings. Can the minister indicate which building in the region is being rented and where is it located?
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Figueroa may not be a super salaried employee, but he's a super earner. Kokwani Park, Pottsville, Kokwani. So there are 3 buildings in Kokwani Park and 1 in Pottsville.
Thank you very much, Minister. Honorable Member, Mr. Figueroa.
Thank you, Comrade Chair. Thank you, Minister. Line item 6291, national and other events. There's an allocation of over $24 million. Could the minister shed some light with regards to this allocation for the region?
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Chairman, the honorable member did not say that this line item was increased for Region 10. However, there are a number of events that are catered for, including Autism Month, including International Day for Persons with Disabilities, the Singing Bee competition for deaf learners, the SEN Health Fair, International Women's Day activities, Men's Day activities, Mother's Day and Father's Day activities, Easter activities, cancer awareness activities, the participation in regional award ceremonies, World AIDS Day, CARICOM Day, cultural days, National Science Fair, regional and national, the National Athletics Championships, the debating competition in Region 10, the GOF Haynes debating competition as well, Singing Bee competition, the participation in the national cleanup activities in Region 10, the Emancipation Day activities, Arrival Day activities, Amerindian Heritage Month activities for the education program, the Mashramani Agriculture Month, Nursery Fund Days, a host of other national celebrations and regional celebrations.
You said, thank you. You said
Honorable
agriculture
Minister,
month.
Honorable Member,
Thank
Mr.
you,
Figueroa.
Country. Agriculture month. Can you give an indication of how much of that allocation will be going to that project, that program? Sorry.
Mr. Chairman, how the
Honorable Minister.
thank you. How this line item was constructed, they are indicative figures. As the activities are budgeted or they're costed, then we will be able to determine what's the exact.
Thank you, Minister. Honorable Member, Mr. Sears.
Mr. Speaker, just going back a little bit at line item 6272, electricity charges. Honorable Minister, the question to you is, we've observed over 200% increase in the electricity charges. What warrants this increase?
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Chairman, the electricity charges take account of the Department of Education, some staff of the Department of Education, some of the schools, Republic Avenue, Blueberry Hill, Retrieve, Pine Street, South Amelia's Ward, Watuka, Wizrock, Canvas City, Wisma Hill, Half Mile, Bornham Drive, Christianborg, Middle Street, 1 mile West Watuka, Amelia's Ward, the Bamia Nursery School, when that is complete, Wizrock Phase 1B Nursery School, Mackenzie Primary, Watuka Day, Wisma Hill, St. Aaron's, Christianborg. Okay.
Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Honorable Member, Mr. Sears.
Just a quick one. Are there any electricity charges for Kokwani?
Honorable Minister.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, Minister. Honorable Member, Mr. Sears.
Mr. Speaker, did I hear right that the Honorable Minister said yes? I was somewhat, maybe I misled, but aren't the electricity charges in
Who
Kokwani?
misled you?
Sorry.
I'll correct it right now.
Forgive me, Mr. Speaker. If I heard correctly, right, the Honorable Minister said yes, they're paying electricity charges.
Yes, he did.
But I'm fully aware that the residents in Kokwani enjoy free electricity.
Honorable Minister, does the residents of Kukwani enjoy free electricity?
Mr. Chairman, despite the residents getting free electricity, or in spite of them getting free electricity, the bills have to be paid. And this government, we are paying our bills.
Okay.
So the secondary school of Kokwani, the electricity bill will still have to be paid.
Thank you. Honorable Member, Mr. Sears.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Mr. Chair, turn to line item 6292, dietary. Could the Honorable Minister share if this line item caters for the hot meals program? And if so, by comparison, how many schools in sub-region 2 are benefiting from this provision?
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Chairman, this is for the dorm children.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Honorable Member, Mr. C.
Mr. Speaker, with regards to line item, line item 6302, training including scholarships. I would like to know, direct this question to the Honorable Minister. Right. Again, 6302, training. How many teachers are projected to benefit from this training in this fiscal year? And what are the areas of focus?
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Chairman, this takes account of the education program. So we have, if you do the math with me, Honorable Member, newly appointed managers 40, introduction to mentorship and novice teachers 136, supervision and invigilation 140, combined head teachers meetings with professional development competent blah 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 70, professional development sessions for primary head teachers 30. Okay.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Honorable Member Mr. Sears is looking out to put the head. Thank you very much. Honorable members, I now put the question that the sum stated for Program 803 Education Delivery Current Expenditure stands part of the estimates. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. Ayes have it, sum stated now stands part of the estimates. Just before we proceed, we've exhausted the hour. I am just double checking with Chief Whip for the opposition and staff on how much time remains from the preceding heads that we see. So if we can coordinate. Honorable members, turn to page 547, and I am at Program 803, Education Delivery, Capital Expenditure, and I propose a question that the sum stated herein stands part of the estimates. Honorable Member, Mr. Figueroa.
Thank you. Thank you, Comrade Chair. Line item 1205200, buildings education. Mr. Chairman, this allocation here is for a school. The contract was signed on the 8th of November 2021, approximately over 20 months, and the school is still in a comatic state. Could the minister, and more so, it's scheduled to be completed in July 2023 of this year. And the fact that it has been dormant for so long, could the minister give us an update with regards to when this school will start back? The building of this school would start back, and more so, would it be satisfying the contractual arrangement it signed for its completion in 2023, July?
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Chairman, I've been advised by the regional engineers that construction never stopped. Maybe the pace of construction wasn't as quick as the honorable member desired, but construction never stopped.
And it's on schedule for completion when stated.
So, Mr. Chairman, there have been many meetings with the regional administration and the contractor.
More than 20 months.
And the contractor has indicated that they will intensify their construction to get the school completed as
Thank you very much, Minister. Honorable Member, Mr. Figueroa. Honorable Member, Mr. Sears.
Mr. Speaker, direct to the Honorable Minister. At this current stage, what is the percentage of complete, well, what percentage is that at right now?
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Chairman, I spoke earlier about I do not subscribe to percent complete. If the honorable member would like to know how much money was paid for work done, then we can make that available.
Mr. Chairman, did I hear the minister correctly saying that the work never stopped? This work was dormant for some time.
Honorable Minister said was it may have slowed considerably.
I am saying to you, as a resident who would have visited the site
Figueroa,
on several occasions, that the work stopped for a number of months.
Honorable Member Mr. Figueroa, we have a difference of opinion. You know, I could stop for a long time, but I'm still continuing on my journey. Honorable Minister, want to make a comment on?
Mr. Chairman, I've answered that.
Thank you very much. Honorable Member Mr. Figueroa.
Thank you. Can the minister give a percentage of the work that has been completed on this said project? So
Honorable Minister said he can say how much money was spent, but he doesn't.
Yeah, there's a different question. Based on the work that he's saying that never stopped, could you give us a percentage of the work that has been completed thus far?
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Chairman, the honorable member does not understand project management. I would like to offer the honorable member a trip to the location and for him to help me measure the percent of work that was complete. So I can again offer to the honorable member the disbursements, and so far we have disbursed $129.639 million.
Thank you, Minister. Honorable Member, Mr. Figueroa.
So, as I would have indicated, the contractual arrangement for this contract for its completion is July 2023. Can you give us any firm position on this if the contract arrangement will be satisfied with regards to the present state of the school? Would it be completed?
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Chairman, we would like the school to be completed on time. I can assure you, as we have been doing, that any contractor who has gone beyond the contract period, in especially these massive sensitive projects, they will have to pay liquidated damages, quite unlike what happened in the last government when hundreds of millions of dollars in contracts were tendered on on New Year's Eve. Hundreds of millions, and right in Region 10, hundreds of millions as well. And up till this day, the last government did not institute liquidated damages. So our contract management, our contract administration is far superior to what obtained between 2020 and 2015. And so we will work with the contractor to get the school finished as quickly as possible.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Honorable Member, Mr. Sears.
Mr. Speaker, moving on. With regards to the furniture and equipment for education, that's project code 2505400. The question to the Honorable Minister is, I'd observed that there's a $55 million allocation to this particular project. What percentage of this allocation caters for the purchase of computers and multimedia equipment?
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Chairman, we are buying 50 laptop computers and would be provided to 20 primary schools and 18 nursery schools.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Honorable members, I now put a question that the sum stated for program 803 education delivery capital expenditure stands part of the estimates. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. Ayes have it. The sum stated stands part of the estimates. Honorable members, let us turn to page 456 and 457. And I propose the question that the sum stated for program 804 health services current expenditure stands part of the estimates. Honorable Member, Mr. Figueroa.
Thank you. Line item 6241, rental of buildings. Can the minister indicate where is this building located and what is the purpose of the rental of this building?
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Chairman, we are renting accommodation for medical practitioners at 3 different locations: Half Mile Wisma, Central Amelia's Ward, and 1 Mile Wisma.
Thank you, Minister. Honorable Member, Mr. Figueroa.
Temporary 6117, temporary employees. We have seen a significant increase of an additional 31 more temporary employees. Where are these employees located?
Mr. Chairman, naturally it will be in Region 10, 4 health promotion assistants, 3 X-ray technicians, 1 blood donor, 6 field assistants, 1 telephonist, 5 vehicle drivers, 1 environmental assistant, 1 dental extender, 1 medical lab tech, 1 handyman, a pharmacy assistant, a healthcare attendant, 2 ward maids, 1 stores clerk, and 2 porters.
So they're stationed right in Linden.
Member, Mr. Figueroa.
Yes, thanks, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Minister. Honorable Member,
Mr. Speaker, on the same line item, on the same line item, we would like to know, like my colleague has asked, just to reiterate the question again, reemphasize it, where are where are these temporary employees located? Are they shared between various communities, villages? Kokwani, how many in Kokwani, how many in Aituni, how many in Rockstone, how many at 58, if any?
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Chairman, there is a misnomer in the temporary employees. These are people who are actually on an extended employment period in Region 10. And they are augmenting the services that we are providing for health in Region 10. They would be, and many of them are placed at the offices of the regional health officer and in different installations in Region 10.
Thank you, Minister. Honorable members, I now put a question.
Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Member, Mr. Sears.
Just turning my attention to line item 6221. Could the Honorable Minister share, and this is kind of infringing on 6241, rental of buildings. Could the Honorable Minister share if there is a bond in Linden, right, and its location?
Honorable Minister.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, we have so far adequate storage for drugs and medical supplies in Region 10. Quite unlike the famous bond that the last government gifted to one of their supporters in excess of $13.5 million per month. We have adequate storage so far in Region 10 for drugs and medical supplies.
Thank you very much, Minister. Honorable Member, Mr. Sears.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Line item 6242, maintenance of building. Could the Honorable Member share with this Honorable House if maintenance and the amount is the amount that is being allocated for Kokwani, Linden Hospital, and Upper Demerara Berbice Hospital? How much is allocated to those three hospitals under this line item?
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Chairman, for the purposes of the honorable member's education, the Mackenzie as well as or the Linden Hospital, as well as the Kokwani Hospital, they are catered for directly by the Ministry of Health. In the maintenance of buildings, we'd be doing maintenance work at Berbice River, Demerara River, Wismar, Mackenzie, on health posts, on staff quarters, and different other areas.
Thank you, Minister. Honorable Member, Mr. Sears.
Mr. Speaker, turn our attention to line item 6281. Could the Honorable Minister, this is based on security services, could the Honorable Minister share with this Honorable House who the contractors are, particularly for some health centers in Linden? Not all of them, just name about two.
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Chairman, I stand guided whether I should call the name of the contractor. This is 2023, and we will have to tender for the work.
Thank you very much, Minister. Honorable members, I now put a question that the sum stated for Program 804, Health Services Current Expenditure, stands part of the estimates. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. Ayes have it. Sum stated now stands part of the estimates. Honorable member, just give me 1 second to check on how much time we have remaining on the time saved. Thank you. Honorable members, small discrepancy. The Honorable Chief Whip and our timekeeper, we have, if we use the larger amount, it's about 38 minutes we save. We use Chief Whip for the opposition, it's 28. So I'm not going to quibble over 10 minutes, but to inform you that we started at 9:02 on this head. We've exhausted an hour. We are now at 10:18. So we just have about 22 minutes remaining at this time. Honorable member,
Mr. Speaker, project code 1205300, buildings. I would just like to know if any provisions were made for the completion of the Blueberry Hill Health Center in this allocation.
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Chairman, it is already complete.
Mr. Speaker, project code 2403500, land and water transport. I would like to know where this ambulance will be placed or which area or community it will service.
Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We will be buying quite a number of engines. We'll be buying an aluminum boat, and we'll be buying an ambulance for the Upper Demerara Hospital.
Thank you, Minister. Honorable members, I now put a question that the sum stated for Program 804 Health Services Capital Expenditure stands part of the estimates. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. Ayes have it. Sum stated now stands part of the estimates. Honorable members, please turn to pages 458 and 459. And I propose a question that the sum stated for Agency 80 Region 10, Upper Demerara, Upper Berbice, Program 805, Agriculture, current expenditure. And I propose the question that the sum stated herein stands part of the estimates. Honorable Member, Mr. Sears.
Mr. Speaker, with regards to line item 6116, I noticed, Mr. Speaker, and if I may crave your indulgence just for a second, the APNU AFC, during its tenure or leadership of the RDC, would have created or give birth to the agriculture department because we see it important for the region, especially when it comes to food security. But the question here lies, Mr. Speaker, is to the Honorable Minister. I noticed a clear decrease in the contracted employees, a reduction by one. The question to the minister, to the Honorable Minister, is what position that person held. All right, what position that person held.
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Chairman, the book I'm reading, 6116
has
on
a clear
page,
increase by one.
it actually increased from 0 to 1.
Honorable Member, Mr. Sears, just double check because I'm sure you wouldn't make such a incorrect statement. Okay, he stands corrected.
But just at what position that is, Mr. Speaker?
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, it is a crop extension assistant.
Crop extension. That's great. Honorable members, I now put the question that the sum stated for program.
Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Member, Mr. Sears.
Mr. Speaker, I observe an allocation here under vehicle spares and services. All right. That's line item 6264. I would just like to know, right, how many vehicles this particular line item caters for? How many vehicles under the Agriculture Department?
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Chairman, I could, without fear of contradiction, I could say that it doesn't include that certain pickup and the BMW, but it includes 2 ATVs, 1 outboard engine, a 4x4 pickup that the department uses, a 4x4 pickup that NARI uses, a 4x4 pickup that GLDA uses, and a motorcycle that GLDA uses.
Thank you very much, Minister. Honorable Member, Mr. Sears.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Turn our attention to line item 6291, national and other events. I would like to know from the Honorable Minister, what is the I noticed a $5 million, which is clear an increase, but I would like to know how much is allocated towards Agriculture Awareness Month.
Honorable Minister. Any specific allocation or
Mr. Chairman, yes, the allocation will go towards regional agricultural activities, uh, the Agri-Health Fair, Market Days, Agri-Month activities, World Food Day, the different expos that the region may pursue, the Linden Business Expo, and also other activities that this program will cater.
Thank you very much, Minister. Thank you very much, honorable members. I now put a question that the sum stated for program 805 agriculture current expenditure stands part of the estimates. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. Ayes have it. Sum stated now stands part of the estimates. That disposes of the penultimate item today. And now for the final item, I propose a question on page 548, program 805. I propose a question that the sum stated herein for agriculture capital expenditure stands part of the estimates. Honorable Member,
Mr. Speaker, with regards to project code 1902200 agriculture development, could the Honorable Minister state if in this provision the Millie's hideout to Sand Hills Road is catered for? Millie's hideout to Sand Hills Road.
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Chairman, I don't know if the honorable member is asking this because of vested interests. We're a notorious, well, I can't say notorious, but someone who was publicly involved in the rigging of elections for AP and UFC in 2020 owns a lot of land in this area where more than 1,000 house lots could be demarcated and constructed. But this line item, Mr. Chairman.
We're all getting on with the hour. Did I hear you impute about rigging? I think something is in the code, so you have to withdraw that, right?
No, but Mr. Chairman,
Honorable Minister, please withdraw
that. Okay. Mr. Chairman, are you asking me to withdraw the attempts that APNU AFC tried to rig the elections of 2020?
Yeah, something is in the courts and we've been consistent with respect to matters in the courts. Honorable Minister, please.
Okay, Mr. Chairman. I will withdraw the comment that I made that APNU tried to rig the 2020 elections, but in my personal belief, I have evidence of a spreadsheet, and these figures do not reconcile with the SOPs. Great. So we will be upgrading Farm to Market Road in West Watuka, Mr. Chairman. Shade houses in Aichuni, Kokwani, and Rockstone. The construction of pens for the establishment of egg production at Aichuni, not pig, as the honorable member had taken millions of dollars to create a pig pen. Construction of pens for breeding sow unit in Spiteland. Sows are pigs. Construction of aquaponics farm in Linden and in Kwakwani. The rural agriculture relief initiatives in Rockstone, Hururu, Nottinghamshire, Spiteland, and the acquiring of agricultural tools to foster the development of agriculture in Region 10.
Thank you very much, Minister. Honorable Member, Mr. Sears.
Mr. Speaker, on the same line item, these projects, while commendable, the question to the Minister, along this line item, would he consider having an allocation made for the purchase of a vehicle which can service all of those areas by
Honorable Member, you have to ask him if that item is included in the.
I just asked him if he could consider it, because it's not, he just listed it's not included.
Yeah, we had the general debate last week.
Okay. All right, sir. So guide.
Honorable members, there being no other question, I would like to put the question that the sum stated for program 805, agriculture, capital expenditure stands part of the estimates. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. Ayes have it. the sum stated stands part of the estimates. Honorable members, this concludes our consideration for Region 10 and all the agencies under the Ministry of Local Government and Regional Development. Our very special thanks to the Honorable Minister for taking us through all those agencies, and in particular this hour of the evening, the staff of the regional administration for taking us through their agency. Let the assembly resume. House is now in assembly. Honorable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, with your permission, I ask that we adjourn the House until 10 a.m. on Thursday, the 2nd of February, 2023.
Honorable members, the House stands adjourned to tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Have a good night.